You're on.
We're on. Okay. So, Monica Halliday, this is who I've got with me tonight. And we're talking about Fight for Connar. So we just really wanted to show off these t-shirts tonight because I'm really proud to be wearing one.
Can be purchased online.
Can be purchased online. And wow, let's talk about this so we can, well, let's talk about you.
Yep.
Like, wow. So I just found out tonight when we were chatting about that you've lost 35 kilos.
Yes.
Wow, like that's insane.
Yes.
And over how long?
9 months.
9 months.
Mhm.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, like that's just amazing. I've had some beautiful people on the show that have had, you know, fight with body image and things like that, that they've actually lost weight. And Taylor Berry was one of them, amazing young woman. So I just had to mention that and praise you for doing such a great job.
Only because I bought 4 outfits for the Great Gatsby Ball.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, the Great Gatsby Ball, because we're doing the Fight for Connar, and one of the fundraisers is the Great Gatsby Ball.
On the 27th of July.
27th of July, and we've still got tickets available.
We have tickets available at West New Lambton.
Yes.
$150 per person.
Mm-hmm.
3-course sit-down meal, 5 hours of drinking, beverage package, and entertainment.
Wow, that was a really good ad.
Yeah. Thanks. Join us.
So let's just go way, way, way back and explain to everyone what Fight for Connar is all about.
Sure.
Now, I know that you were a childcare worker.
Yes. I'm a family daycare educator, and Connar was a child that his sisters went to school with my children, and he approached his mum and told her just before he was 2 that he wanted to go with a lady that stole children from school. So
Meaning you.
Meaning me. So his mum, Anne-Marie, and I, who had been friends through Girl Guides, we decided I had a spot. Let's Connar come for 1 day a week. And that lasted a couple of months, and then Connar decided he wanted to do 2 days a week. And so he came 2 days a week, and then he decided he'd come 3 days a week.
So how old was he then?
So Connar was about 2.5 when he started doing 3 days a week, but just before he was 2, he started coming to Mum's Munchkins. So he came to me until he graduated, ready for big school, and just before he started school in the December, he'd had headaches and things, so Anne-Marie's mum took him to the doctors, and that's when they discovered that he had a brain tumour. So,
so how old was he? 5?
He was nearly 5.
Oh dear.
So Connar was diagnosed with a brain tumour that was operated on, and that left him with a condition called cerebellar mutism, which means he could open his eyes, but he had no expressions. He couldn't walk, talk, eat, toilet, anything. So he was left in a vegetable type state. Anne-Marie decided that she would do physio. She was a nurse. She did physio and hydrotherapy and riding with the disabled and speech and physio and you name it. Anne-Marie did all that. And he started to gain use of his verbal. He was able to start to walk. He did swimming, hydrotherapy, and just started to become a little boy with different mobilities.
What a great mum though to be doing all that. Like, I know any mother, well, you just do that. That's what you do. You go the extra mile for your child. And, you know, we were talking about last week, we interviewed Lisa Haynes, and Lisa was born with stroke, and she didn't talk and function very well until she was about 10. But they wouldn't allow her to be educated in the state school.
Yeah.
So her mum, for 12 months, went and knocked on the door of the Catholic school with her every single day that she could, banged on that door, and eventually after 12 months they said, you know what, let's let her in. And that just changed her whole life. So, I mean, mums do amazing things.
They do. And Connar was really lucky. The public school, local school, allowed him to start school with a mobility device that allowed him to get around the school, and with a teacher's aid. they were really blessed, and he did that for nearly 4 years. And in November or December of 2015, they went for a routine MRI scan, and sadly they discovered that his tumour had progressed and that it was no longer operable, and that therapy was no longer available for him.
That would have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was hard work.
And I mean, you know, not only for Connar and his family, but also for you, because you had that rapport with him.
Yeah, we did. And we decided, a group of friends and some family members thought, well, my daughter and my husband and myself, we come up with the idea to start raising money to help Anne-Marie and the family. So we made Fight for Connar, and we started fundraising and holding events, and we sort of thought we'd smush into whatever time Connar had with us the best that we could. So he had a huge birthday party at the public school. We had a blue day at the school, and it's probably one of the most memorable days because Connar was interviewed by NBN News, and the first thing he said was, well, the best part about the day was all about him. And it was all about Connar. And his mother got married, which we were able to do a surprise wedding that Connar walked his mum down the aisle.
Oh, gosh.
He went to work. He worked at Harry de Wheels in Newcastle. He tattooed at his uncle's tattoo parlour. He tattooed his uncle's knee.
And how old was he?
9.
9.
So we fitted into a very small period. And in the October, Connar of 2016, Connar, we say, grabbed his superhero cape and his mask, and he went on to his next journey. So yeah.
And hence why the caricature that you have when you're advertised,
Captain Bullhead.
Captain Bullhead. Is that something like, is that a nickname that you called him?
Connar was called Bullhead by his family, and it was his pet name. So his uncle called him Bullhead all the time, and so Captain Bullhead, when we were building the character and getting it together, we asked his 2 sisters what they thought would be a good name for it, and they called him Captain Bullhead. So we have Captain Bullhead.
That's awesome, isn't it?
It's great.
So, like, I know just through talking to you previously, that the things that your organisation has done, and you haven't received funding, have you? You haven't gone
No.
for funding.
No.
So how you keep going is basically fundraising.
Yes. We've got a great business, Titan Group, at Thornton. They jumped on board at our last year's ball and made a large donation to help us out. Because at the start of us meeting our families, we like to preserve, I suppose, $5,000 per child, and that's to help towards the funds of the children's funerals at the end of life stage. But then we also do memory making opportunities, because that's our motto. We want to make memories matter for families. So we do hand moulds. We've got a lovely lady from Twinkle Toes who does beautiful hand moulds of the children. We have a photographer with Deb from Photo Trend. She does beautiful photo memories and just the best things for the families to keep. And they're put together, the mould and the photos. We've sent families
for
on
the
holidays.
Families,
Yeah.
so they've got something.
A keepsake.
Yeah,
it's all
that
about
child.
memories. Yeah.
So it's all about terminally ill children
And palliative care children.
and palliative care children.
Yeah.
So you kind of fill in the gaps that the families are unable to do, or
Yeah.
you kind of like help them.
Some of our families, our more recent families, have needed things like lawn mowing service or a house cleaning service just to help them out. Our more recent was the Green family at Wall's End. Emily, we did renovations on a home for a little girl who was finished treatment within the hospital, but however had to wait to be evaluated for funding. So waiting could have been months based on what their needs were. So we sort of had a team meeting and said, here's an opportunity, we can just get in and get this done and get this family home. So we were really lucky. We had beautiful contractors, and builders and people that jumped on board, people that I've provided care for, had contacts, so they got us contacts with Matt Hain from Haynes Builds, from a couple of external people and friends from baseball that were builders and air conditioning guys. They've jumped on board, and we just renovated the house from the start to finish. And
So how does that work? So a company that you would associate with, or that they'd hear about you,
Mhm.
and then they contact you and they say, all right, we're an air conditioning firm and we'd love to do something.
Yeah.
So then do you give them an option to help
I
a
certainly
family?
do.
So you tell them of all the families that you've got and what their needs are,
Yep.
and then you give them an option to, you know, help in some way.
And depending on, we get referrals from the John Hunter Children's Hospital, so we work with the social team and the palliative care team at John Hunter. They refer families to us, and then it's based mainly on obviously memory making opportunities. However, if their needs are bigger and there's something that we may be able to help them with, renovating was not what we really thought we'd be doing, but we jumped on board. You know, one little girl wanted to show her dog, her corgi, at a dog show. So we just made opportunities to contact Hillsborough Dog Show, and Beyond Bank helped us there and got us contacts there for people that could groom the dog and could had contacts. And so, you know, we ended up with a beautiful ring that was all about Peter showing her corgi, Tildy, and it was a really beautiful moment, you know, and the dog show people were fantastic. They all entered their dogs into this competition.
Aww.
And of course Tildy won.
Yeah, she'd have
and
to.
got her ribbons and got
Yeah.
her points, and you know, not long after that in February, young Peter lost her life as well. So, you know, it's not, some of them aren't big things. We hold personal fundraisers for the children at their schools, trivia nights, we do anything we can, anything.
So how does someone like contact you? What would be their best way to contact the organisation?
We have an email contact. We are online. We have a website. If you go to www.fightforconnar.com, you'll find us there. We've got a website, an email address, obviously Facebook and places like that. And, you know, my phone number's splattered all over it, so people contact me as the director, and we go from there on what we're doing and where they can help, or we just keep their contacts until we have a family that can use whatever they're offering.
And I must also mention that the spelling of Connar is Connar.
Yes.
So let's do the
We are.
Fight for Connar.
Sorry, grey matters I've got. Yes.
Grey matters.
Grey matters.
Yeah. Fight for Connar. So Connar.
Yeah.
And you know, if you want to contact them, you know, do that. If you're at home or you've got a business or you just don't know what you want to do but you want to do something, just ring Monica and talk to her.
Yeah.
You know, and just say, all right, I don't know what I want to do, but
How
I'm
can I
here.
help?
Yeah, how can I help you?
We have Bunnings barbecues and whatever we can get into in the community. You know, we've now got a few football teams and that are wearing our logo on their shorts or on their jerseys, and we're just getting our name out there as well, so that people can contact us and we can say, hey, we might be able to help.
So I believe that you've said goodbye to 12 children?
We've said goodbye to 8 children. We've
8
farewelled
children.
8 children. We have 13, we have now assisted 13 families on, obviously our role is to make the memories and make those moments special. So we've helped 13 families. We've farewelled 8 children. We have 5 active children. Not all their conditions are cancer. Some of these children have, we have one child with juvenile Huntington's disease. We have another little boy in Tamworth that has hollow viscous myopathy. Look
What
that
is
one
that?
up. So his internal organs don't work properly. So he he's catheterised. He has a colostomy bag. He has a he eats out of bags, so through tubes. So not all families are local. Some of these families are living at the Ronald McDonald House. And we meet a lot of these families when we have Nando's at Katara that donate us meals once a month that we
Is that
deliver.
a restaurant?
Yeah, Nando's up on the rooftop.
Okay, so is that, what's the, come on, let's give them a plug.
Oh, Nando's.
So, okay, so what sort of food is it?
It's chicken and it's beautiful.
Chicken?
It's
and
all,
it's at what
it's,
shopping centre?
At Katara Shopping Centre.
Westfield
Shopping
Centre
Centre.
at Katara.
On the
And you
rooftop.
know, I mean, I'm not one for plugging
Yep.
businesses. That's not what this show's about.
No.
But when I find someone like you and your organisation, I feel that's what it should be all about.
Definitely.
And that's what I said when I rang you and said, bring your t-shirt. We are wearing a t-shirt. I am proudly wearing this t-shirt tonight. Let's, you know, try and tell everyone the amazing companies that help you and assist
Yeah.
you in so many ways. So Nando's is a chicken restaurant, Westfield Shopping Centre at Katara. And what do they physically do?
So they provide us, I ring Ashley once a month, or Ashley contacts me once a month if I haven't sort of had time to get in touch, and he says, are you ready for meals? I contact Simon at the John Hunter and say to him, how many families are on J1 that could do with a nice meal that are having long stays? So families that are there for a long period of time, they may be living at the Ronald McDonald House at the hospital, that he'll give me a number of families, can be 2, can be 4, it just depends. And Ashley puts together packs, family packs of chicken pieces and wraps and desserts and chippies and salads and drinks. And we go and deliver to the families. So they give us the room number, and sometimes it's at the Ronald McDonald House, which is where we've met then quite a few of the families that we've assisted. And some of the things from the families, Emily's family in particular, they live close, they're a local family from Wallsend. So every night Sian was going home cooking meals. Brad was going up to the hospital and sitting with Emily while Mum went home and cooked meals. And we just happened to be turned up that night and had a spare meal. So we met Sian and Brad and Emily and Mason, and the relationship sort of grew from there. And Sian will say, you know, it was the best night's meal ever because she didn't have to go home. It was the right timing, and she said you just don't realise what a home cooked or somebody bringing you something
absolutely
in,
makes
and it's
a
not
difference.
hospital food makes. So that was
Yeah.
really nice.
And I mean, there's nothing worse than like, well, you are local, and I mean, you've got to go home, you've got to leave your child too, that's the other thing.
Correct.
Go home and you've got to look after other children in your family and cook meals. So if you've got someone that's delivering meals to you in the hospital, like, just wow, like, thank you, Nando's.
Yes.
So let's talk about, like, what other companies have done for you.
So the Titan Group, they
Titan?
are amazing. They're at Thornton.
Yes.
They're a mining company, and they also have a mechanical service and things there. They have actually done monetary donations to us that they started just allocating $1,000 per child from, you know, the first get-go. Gave us a lovely donation.
So they give you $1,000. Well, they gave
They
you
gave us $1,000 per child initially.
Oh, wow!
And that's when we had 3 families active, and then it's grown from there over the last 12 months. So last year they held a golf day that they invited the Fight for Connar team to, and we just got to sit under the tent and watch everybody drive around on golf carts, and then they did a beautiful presentation, and they did an auction and did lots of silly crazy stuff and raised a huge amount of money that helped us 5 children that we've supported.
Wow, that's
yeah.
great. And who else? I might as well just go for it.
Pettigrew Funerals at Wallsend are a major assistance for us. Obviously towards the end of life stage we contact Pettigrew's, and they help us then towards planning the final moments for these families. And we've got some amazing people that have come on board. We've got Matt Hain from Hain's Build. He's been an absolute pillar of strength through the build for Emily's house. Craig Sturgeon, Andrew Pascoe. I'll miss somebody out here, I know for sure. But
if you think about
there's
it,
a bazillion people.
just keep popping up the names because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So what difference did that make to that little girl's life, the Renaults?
Oh look, that was huge, and it was huge for all of us. When we met Emily at Christmas, we took her out in a bus from Anglican Care at Edgeworth, from the Masonic Village. They gave us a bus that was wheelchair friendly, so we could take Emily and her family out of the hospital and escape on Christmas Eve. Sian had planned to do a big light thing throughout the hospital because they were stuck there. And so I thought, no, you're not stuck there, let's work this out. So we went Christmas light hunting, and Richie, who is Connor's stepdad, and Anne-Marie and my beautiful family joined us on the bus, which was lovely for Connor's family to be a part of, which they are a part of the whole journey with us. And we went Christmas light hunting, and we sang The Greatest Showman on the bus, and all Emily's favourite things. And that's when we sort of really knew one of the things Emily wanted to do was go home. So it was massive. You know, this little girl had a huge amount of time, and her family at the hospital. Sort of Sian and Brad hadn't had a chance to be together in their home as a family unit since finding out that Emily had cancer. So watching that family come home and watching them walk into their new home, and the extra bits and pieces that we've thrown in there, like ripping carpet up in Sian and Brad's room and laying floorboards in there for them as well, and make it a real bedroom for them to come home to as a husband and wife. Emily getting, you know, a beautiful splatter of colours because she'd asked for things. Young Mason, all he asked for, he wanted his sister home, and he wanted a red wall. So we did fire engine red as you could get. He's got a beautiful red wall in his bedroom. You know, we were lucky to get Harvey Norman up at Rutherford, helped us out with great discounts on a beautiful lounge that's supportive for Emily to sit on and be able to be in her own space.
Did the family know that you were doing this? Was it a surprise, or?
We had said what we were planning to do, bits and pieces.
To the parents?
To the parents,
yeah.
But it was pretty much a free-for-all once we got in there and realised we could do so much more. We knocked out a back wall that was a window, and put a beautiful big deck off the back of the house so that Emily can actually access her backyard. We have a lovely carport that was donated by Aussie Carports down the Central Coast, that has just been put up, and started doing all that, finishing it all off for the family. The bathroom was completely gutted and renovated so that it's wheelchair friendly, and it totally
massive.
It was huge. It was
How long
amazing.
did that take?
We did all this in about 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're totally like almost rebuilding a home.
Pretty much. Painted all the way through. Ty, one of our committee members' sons, came through, and he's a painter, and did all the painting for us all the way through, and helped us patch up where we couldn't get the strokes right, but you know, it was huge.
Wow, what a difference that would have made to that beautiful family. And I mean, so Emily now?
Yeah,
She's
is doing very well. About to go in for some more MRI scans. Is gaining a lot of movements back, because Emily had 2 strokes while she was having her initial surgery.
Oh, dear.
So when they went to remove Emily's brain cancer, she had 2 strokes, and that left her paralysed on the left side of her body, which is why she's wheelchair dependent. So you know, that was the difference of having to widen front doors and widening doors into the room so that she can access her house. So that was, you know, that was the big
And
part of it.
how old is Emily?
Emily is 11.
Wow. That's just incredible. What a beautiful organisation.
Yeah.
And what beautiful people that we have in our hometown that would support such an amazing organisation and give like they do. I mean, that's half the battle, is having people that want to give. And I mean, surely there are people out there watching tonight that would like to give to the cause. And there are also, I would believe, there are people out there that would need some assistance. And that's what I'm reaching out for tonight too, is to, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you're battling a certain situation now with your child, and, you know, you just feel like you can't cope, or maybe money's very tight, and I know that that can be a really hard situation when you've got all these medical bills, and a lot of the time, you know, we can't work when these things are happening. So, you know, a lot of the time people are losing their jobs or giving up work in order to look after their family and their loved ones. So don't be afraid to contact. If you can't remember the name or something happens, or it's Fight for Connar once again, and even contact me, like private message me if you need help and assistance, or you know of a family. And I mean, that's the other thing too. If you know of a family that is struggling right now, you know, contact me or contact Monica and have a chat to her. And you'll see that I've tagged her in this anyway, so you can actually tag her at the top where I've put Monica's name, so you can contact her directly. So, I guess, you know, wow, I just think it's amazing that all these people have come together for such a beautiful
some of these
cause.
are our friends. You know,
Yeah.
these are people that we've spent a lot of time and know what the story of Connar was about. So, you know, like just, and my husband plays sport with 1 billion people in the baseball community and the soccer community. And so, you know, just getting the bathroom waterproofed and getting the bathroom tiled and, you know, they are people that have been in our lives that have gone, hey, we can do this and help you. So there was Jason and there was Mark. And then, you know, Hannah Waterproofing, and then there was Annie and friends of ours that just want to help us but don't want to be, you know, involved deeply with the families because of their own personal journeys. So, you know, my girlfriend Annie just came in and styled for us, you know, and just did the most beautiful things, made Mason's room a Marvel room with superheroes all through his room. And,
wow.
you know, we've met families from Guyra and Tamworth, and you know, we stay in contact with those families after they've lost their child, and the friendships and the connections that we've made with those people go deeper than just you know, we've got the families coming from Port Macquarie and Tamworth for our ball, just so that they can continue giving back, and because for them having a gift of the hand molds of their children, because it's not just the child that's terminally ill or palliative care, it's actually usually their siblings as well. So for Connar it was 3 beautiful hand moulds and a photo, and for young Chloe, who was from Tamworth, it was her and her older sibling and the baby. But that had to be done over separate sittings because those children were still in Tamworth with other family members while the mother and father were here with Chloe. So
and little Chloe's passed now.
we lost Chloe in April. She had a brain tumour as well, and
How old was Chloe?
Chloe was 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, in June last year we lost baby Owen. He was 9 months old, and he had a soft tissue sarcoma under his arm. So, you know, these children, they range from such different age groups, and the needs for these parents are so different. You know, when they're from Port Macquarie and they're living away from home, it's simply a meal, or it's, we've been so blessed, Survivors Are Us have done us hamper packages. Maria has done hamper packages for us to take up to the Ronald McDonald House for them to have some fresh groceries, or like some, you know, new groceries. And
I mean, I've interviewed her too.
yeah.
So, you know, beautiful people. And I mean, maybe that's something that you could do. Like, maybe that's something that you may not have a business, or you may not have money to give, but maybe you'd be willing to cook up some beautiful home-cooked meals for the parents that are staying at Ronald McDonald House, or, you know, the parents that are in the hospital now at John Hunter, you know, nursing their children and saying goodbye to their beautiful little babies. You know, like, there'll be something that you can do. You just have to reach out, basically, and assist this wonderful organisation. And, you know, like, oh dear, I mean, I just think it's just, I couldn't imagine going through that situation myself. And, you know, I think you're a remarkable woman for actually making what it is today. And
make memories matter.
yeah, make memories matter. Like, that's the catch cry, right?
That's us.
Make memories matter. And that's what they want to do. Like, you know, so take the time out, think about it now, think about it tonight, think about what it is that you could actually do. I know, like, one thing that really got me going was there was a little one in a hospital once that was passing, and she just said the blankets were cold, like, even though she was warm and snuggly, and she was having problems then. And I remember some ladies at the church made some knee rugs, and we said, rightio, we're going to call them hug rugs, because it's like giving a hug, isn't it? So they just made up like 20 of these little knee rugs and took them to the hospital. And even the mums and dads said, even just sitting like on the chairs and like when it's cold in the hospital, because it is very sparse and you know, it's not a very nice situation to be in, but they could just put them over their knees as well, like, and just stay warm and feel a bit close and, you know, kind of something warm. But, you know, so it might be just something that you can think of. It might be even a toiletry bag. Like, how sad is that when you're sitting there and you just think, gosh, I'd just love to go and brush my teeth, but, you know, like, you don't think about stuff like that when your child's in hospital.
You're the last person you take care of is yourself.
Well, that's right, you know, and it's all about, you know, it might be just a simple pack of dry shampoo. Like, that is the best invention ever. Like,
agreed.
Isn't it? Like, it's such a lifesaver. You're in the hospital and, you know,
done.
That's it. It might be just toothpaste, toothbrush, dry shampoo and deodorant, and that little pack just for the parents. That might make the world of difference, and a nice home cooked meal and a little hug rug for their legs, and you know, like, that just has so much comfort in it, hasn't it? Like, for anyone. So, what's the one thing, like, on your wish list right now that your organisation would absolutely love?
I'd love for us to be charity status, but that's down the track. We're working on that. That's been
that's massive.
That's my goalpost.
Yeah.
You know, really, all I wish is that, obviously, if we could find a cure for these children, and that's the biggest thing. At the moment, that's what's happening through the HMRI and places like that. So, I think a wish for us is just to, if we didn't have to do this, it would be amazing. But we do have to do this. There's so many children, like you said, up at the John Hunter Children's Hospital on J1 that have these incurable diseases. And I think our biggest wish is that we could help all of them. Obviously, you know, that's where your financials come in. But we're doing our best, and we're going to continue to build Fight for Connar. We are going to continue to support these families. We are going to continue to make memories matter. I don't think people realise the impact of what us being part of their journey, our role in their journey of making memories matter, the impact it has on all of us. You know, there's 9 in the team now, and I think that leaves lots of memories for us. We're making those memories when we're making memories for them. So, like you said, anybody that can jump on board and help us or has anything to offer, we've been more than welcome to open our arms and say, come on in and help where you can.
What do you do for self-care? Because, you know, it would take, like, I just can't even imagine to be involved in something like that you're continually saying goodbye to beautiful little babes. And, you know, like, it must be hard for you because you do connect with that family and you connect with that child.
Very much.
So how do you self-care?
I look at my girls who are healthy, who are beautiful children, who are kind-hearted, and the other committee members and their children, like Anne-Marie's 2 daughters, I look at them and I think, how lucky are we? So I'm okay. My role as an educator is to nurture and to watch children grow and to provide such a beautiful, loving environment that supports these children. So I think that's part of my role in the Fight for Connar team, is to continue to nurture and to look after me is okay. I look after me, I'm okay. I have moments because obviously, yes, we do say goodbye to these children each time. But it's knowing that we did the best we can to make sure these families had beautiful moments captured that are there forever.
What's your most favourite memory or your most favourite thing that you've done for someone?
It goes back to the beginning always. It goes back to Connar. So, when a little boy says a day is all about him, you know, and he said that, and that's captured on NBN News, it's on our Facebook. A lot of people say, oh my God, when Connar said, I watched children line the fence line of Edgeworth Heights Public School on the day of Connar's funeral, and we had a major procession of motorbikes, because Connor's uncle rides motorbikes and his stepfather and father ride motorbikes, and I watched them guide Connar into his final resting place, but that was taped and played back, and to all of the children that lined that fence line, from kindergarten children right through to year 6, with signs that said, we love you, Connar. They didn't know what was happening, but for a parent or a carer like myself who loved him endlessly, that's a moment captured. And whilst it makes me sad, it also makes me know that what we do is amazing, and we are an amazing team of people.
Certainly are.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that
Thank
with
you.
us. So, each and every week,
Mm-hmm.
when I have a guest on the show,
Mm-hmm.
I ask them to give a message of hope to my viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is someone out there that is either going through a situation where they've lost a child, or they're in a situation now where their child is terminal. They know of someone that's gone through it. So what would be a message of hope that you would give that viewer? So someone watching right now, so they're out there now, what would be that message?
I hope that you find peace if your child is going through this, to know that wherever they go and whatever is that part of their journey, that all the beautiful children that have already passed are up there waiting for them and are there to support them at that side of it, and that they're not alone.
Thanks, darling.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, look, you know, like I say, fight for Connar. Like, this is a real big thing. So, you know, like, just take note. Fight for Connar. That's what we want you to do. So contact Monica, contact the organisation. You know about the website, you know about the Facebook page. You've got Monica's phone number up there. She's been tagged. Like, leave a private message for me. There's no way out of this. You've got to contact us with something. Whether you are in need or whether you want to actually give. That's all a part of it. So everyone, like, thank you so much. And like tonight I haven't got my regular producer with me. So we've got the Grand Vince with us, who doesn't write the notes and puts the names down or anything like that, but knows how to put his hands in the way and say things when he shouldn't be saying them. So thank you, second producer Vince. So I've not got the list of names tonight, but thank you everyone that every single week you're there to support me and my dream, and I just enjoy bringing you these most amazing stories, and know that in my heart, like, they're just incredible, inspirational people, and Monica is one of them, and Monica's group Fight for Connar is just certainly one of them. So thank you everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all next week, where I will be interviewing Janine Robertson, who decided that she wanted to have a baby. So she just went out and had a baby all on her own. So hear her story, it's quite amazing. Her little baby Jack. So I look forward to seeing you all next week. Same time, 7:30 Wednesday night, live on Facebook. Thank you everyone.
Bye guys.
Bye for now. Know you'll be okay. Thumbs up.